So a 93-year-old lady came in the bakery yesterday and bought herself a piece of cake, telling me it was her birthday. I work in a grocery store bakery, so just your standard fare, but she was so impressed and telling me how beautiful all the cakes were. Bad news, lady, we don't even make the cakes, they come in pre-made and frozen, but that's besides the point. Right off the bat, I gotta tell you that I have a soft spot for old people, especially kind old ladies. I thought it was really cute that she came in to buy her own birthday cake, and really admire someone who still has independence at her age. I asked her what the secret was to her longevity, and she told me, be absolutely wicked in your 20s, and get to know many men. I also have a scotch every night before bed. This came from a teeny lil old grand, so I was totally shocked and couldn't stop laughing. She also told me that she was at Pearl Harbor the day of the bombing, and after she survived that she figured she was going to live forever. Nice to have customers who brighten your day every once in a while. I once had to give a customer some really bad news. Then the FBI showed up. So yeah, years back I was working as wholesale manager for a large national auto parts chain. Large retail store with a full-service repair facility. When the service manager needed to leave, the technicians would come to me instead. This was one of those days that ended like no other. I remember it was a hot day, well over 100 F, a little after 2 p.m. I'm sitting at my desk looking for some part when one of the technicians comes up to me. His name is Kenny. Now, Kenny is a real nice guy. He's in his early 50s, Vietnamese, and has a great sense of humor. His English isn't great. He understands everything, but never quite got the hang of putting it to words, but he does fine given a minute. The man always has a smile on his face, and he's an outstanding mechanic. I'd let him work on my car, and that's a real short list. Anyway, Kenny, Mr. Silicon, you need come with me. Right. Now, he's stone-faced, and he always calls me by my first name. I'm more than a little scared by how he looks. I'm thinking a vehicle has fallen off a lift, or someone is seriously injured. He leads the way to the service bay. He works in the bay all the way at the end, and that is where he takes me. On his lift he has a 200 white Ford Expedition. He guides me to the front passenger wheel. Well, the wheel and tire have been removed and are on the floor. Then he points up to the fender. I stick my head up into the wheel well and look up towards the fender, and there it is. A large plastic and taped wrapped package, clearly containing a white brick. It's very large, like 8x10x3. It's heavily taped to the inside of the fender. I look at Kenny and he looks at me. Kenny, cocaine. Sure as hell looks like it to me too. Me. What is here for? The truck. It's a lot of work, practically all the front bushings, ball joints, and outer tie rods. Vehicle is listed at approximately 78,000 miles. Me. Do you know who this belongs to? Kenny. No. Me. Alright, just head back to the office, don't touch it. I head to the service desk and pull the repair order. It's got a local phone number and address on it. I ask the service advisor who the customer is. He points to the waiting room next door. I peek inside. Inside is an early 30s guy and his 2 kids, maybe 7 to 5. Looks nice enough, but you never know. At this point, I called the local police. I told them what we found, gave them the vehicle information and customer's name. They said stall him for as long as I can, they will be there as fast as possible. I head inside the waiting room. Introduce myself to the man, and tell him it looks like he might need a few more parts. I say the sway bar bushings and links could also use replacing. He looks at me for a second, then smiles. Guy, yeah, it's okay, if it needs it, just get it done. I've got time. His kids are real nice too, they both introduced themselves to me, very polite. Me. So how long have you had it? Guy, only a few weeks. I just purchased it from auction down south. Me. Really? What kind of auction? Guy, government seizures. Dia, I think? I got an amazing deal. The thing is beat, but I can afford to replace the parts for the price, and the body and inside is great. Me. ... Me. Man, I've got some really bad news for you. I start to explain. Right about this time the local police arrive. They also have the local FBI with them. They examine the vehicle, and have Kenny put the wheel back on. Vehicle goes onto a flatbed and away it goes. 2 of the FBI came with me to the waiting room where this poor guy is now freaking out. Turns out it was indeed a Dia seized vehicle. And they had missed the huge bag of cocaine in it. They had to seize the vehicle from him, couldn't just take the drugs out and give it back like Gonzo, and no repayment. Unknown if he would ever get it back. Poor guy was devastated. Last I saw him, the FBI was giving him and his kids a ride home in their SUV. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to give a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Have a good one.